Well, here we are, getting ready to start it for the very first time. Let me go over some things I did before this moment. Before I put the distributor in, I made this little tool. See the groove on the end? That fits into the oil pump. So with the distributor out, I can put this end on the electric drill, that end on the oil pump, go down there and using an electric drill in reverse, spin the oil pump. That gave me 30 pounds of pressure. That was about as much as I could get using the drill. It's 30 pounds. Then put the distributor in, and without the plugs, spun the starter and got 50 pounds. Unfortunately, down there you can see the oil pressure line right there. When I was tightening the ground cable, I broke that off. Fortunately, I broke it off before I ran another test with the oil pump and had a considerable amount of oil coming out of there. Cut the end of the tube off, put on a new ferrule, and tightened it down so that's not leaking. So I believe I got all of the oil leaks taken care of. Moving over here to this side, we have an issue. When I put in that little thing right there, that thermal switch, which is hooked up to these wires, which operates the electric fan in front of the radiator, that's leaking. So what I did is I went and bought a brand new copper washer to put on there, and hopefully that will seal up. So I still have to do that before I start it. Another issue that came up, I don't know if you can see, let me see if you can get in here, go on the other side here. If you can see this space right here, where are we? This space right here. The pulley is too close to the cross member. Difficult to get the belt on, almost impossible to get the belt on. Why is that, I said? Well, you probably can't see it, but these motor mounts right here, way down in there, they're slotted. When I put the engine in, I was grateful the bolts lined up at all. This engine has to slide backward about a ½ inch. And I got to loosen everything up and figure out how to slide the engine back so I have proper space between the pulley and the cross member, and also this space right here between the hose and the alternator is a little tight. So yeah, we have to loosen the engine and slide it back a ½ inch. Other than that, what else did I do here? Okay, on the carburetor side, I rebuilt the carburetors, excuse me, some time ago. So those just bolted right back on. Again, I used stainless steel studs and nuts to hold on the manifolds. Also, I replumbed the vacuum lines for the breather and the charcoal canisters, so those look a little nicer than the original equipment. One thing I'm pretty proud of, the vacuum line that operates the booster, that hose is supposed to be fastened under here and of course run to here, and I didn't like it draped over the shiny new valve cover, so I rerouted that behind the engine, came up here, put a little connecting pipe in, and ran that to the intake manifold. So I have a nice cleaner look to the engine. So the chokes are hooked up, the heater is hooked up, the throttle is hooked up, everything is hooked up. I ran 180 pounds of compression across 6, and we're ready to give it a start. I figure after we do the start, then I'll worry about sliding the engine back and fixing that little leak. Okay, so for the first time ever, let's see if this beast is going to come to life. You're probably wondering, what are you doing? You were so close to starting that engine. You know what I'm doing here? I'm cleaning up an oil spill. Oil spill. So what I did is I made a little tool to spin the oil pump so I could pressurize the engine before starting it. And the oil pump is spinning and I hear gurgling, but there's no oil coming out of the rocker arms. And all of a sudden I notice there is a lake of oil under the car. Holy buckets, where is this oil coming from? It's running out of the drain hole in the bell housing as if you open the drain plug on the oil pan. That's how much oil was coming out. So I'm sitting there going, well, where is this coming from? What I think happened was when I had the block machined, the oil plug on the back of the little passageway that feeds the camshaft was taken out. I couldn't get it out when I took the block in because I rounded out the Allen wrench trying to get it out. So I figured that plug's not coming out, fine. I took it in, had the block boiled and machined. Evidently the machinist got it out. I didn't put it back because I had no leftover part to put in there. I didn't take it out. I didn't think about putting it back. That plug is not there, which means oil was coming out of that hole like a fire hose. So I'm cleaning up an oil spill, and I either have to pull the engine and transmission to fix it, but what I'm going to try to do, against my better judgment, I'm going to try to just pull out the transmission and put that plug in. So we'll see how that goes when I get done cleaning up the oil spill. So the transmission is out. That was no easy chore. And if we go in here, well, here we go. There's the end of the oil journal, or whatever you want to call it, the oil passage. And as you can see, there's no plug in there. So I have to go get a plug and put it in there. So basically, a day's work getting the engine and transmission out so you can spend 2 minutes putting a plug in. There you have it. Okay, I rolled the car out of the garage for the first start. That way, when it bursts into flames, I'll save the sheetrock. First thing we're going to do is get the flammables out of the way. Okay, and okay, here we go. Step one, pull out the choke. Lock the choke. Turn on the battery. And my friend is here with a fire extinguisher just in case. We have ignition. Maybe I should get a new starter.
Backfire. Got spark.
We'll try it there. Okay, what we have here is a failure in the ignition process. 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, 4. Okay, we're going to have to check. I'll check the I'll bring it around to top dead center. That should be pretty close. Here comes my best side. Woohoo! That's pretty close to top dead center. Pointing there. So that should be right about there.
Is there a mark on the distributor? Probably.
Again, I'm just eyeballing this up here. Maybe. Let's see what happens. Stand up behind the throttle. Give me a little. So she's been running for 5 minutes. I'm gonna try one more little adjustment here. Oh my God, look at the oil pressure. Beautiful. Still charging. Gotta fix that light. Maybe I need a new tack cable. Let's see if I can tweak the carburetor just a little bit here. You know what? Go ahead and turn it off. I think we're going to call this a W. Well, the engine has about 15, maybe 20 minutes of runtime on it. And I did a preliminary tune as far as timing and a little adjusting on the carburetors. Let's see what happens here.